Module 4, remember, is on percents. And so we're going to deal with another type of percent here. We're going to deal with interest. We're going to deal with percents in money. Another way we deal with percents with money, and that is in terms of simple interest. Now, I'll be honest, simple interest is not something you deal with a lot. Most credit cards, loans, anything like that is compound interest. But before you can understand what compound interest is, we got to understand what simple interest is. And this might be something that, maybe if your family member borrows money or something and you want to pay them interest, but not one that compounds on each other, and you'll learn what that means later. You'll maybe use simple interest. Okay, and simple interest basically means it's we're only getting interest only on the amount deposited, sorry, this is really sloppy, or borrowed. And I'll try to spell things correctly as always. So again, we're only going to pay interest. If I borrow $100, I'm only going to pay interest on that $100, not on any interest that accrues on it. So we have this formula right here. Okay? I equals, that's an I right there, PRT. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Now principal is the percent. No, I'm sorry, principal is the money. Okay, it is the amount of money that you either are borrowing or depositing. Okay, so P is the money. I don't think that's in here. Deposited or borrowed. R is the percent, okay? This stands for rate, okay? So R is the percent. And it's usually paid over a period of time, and it's usually per year, okay? So T is the time, okay? R and T must be compatible. What does that mean? If R is an annual interest rate, annual means yearly, then T must be written in years. And you're going to have to pay attention to that because, as you're going to see, doing maybe some example problems here, or at least in your homework, they might give you months. And if it says it's an annual interest rate and they give it to you in months, you got to change those months to a year. If it says it was a monthly interest rate, then you can leave it in months. Okay, so that's what this means right here, that they must be compatible. Okay, so P is the amount of money that we're going to deposit or borrow. R is the rate as a percent, which we're going to turn into a decimal. And T is the time, usually years. Okay, so that gives us our interest. Again, if I deposit money into a bank, a savings account, I get a very small amount of interest. They're literally paying me to put money into that account. A little bit. But if I take a loan out, they're going to charge me the interest. So if I take a loan for $500, I'm not just paying $500 back. I'm paying $500 plus interest. They're charging me to use their money. So keeping in mind that formula now, okay? Larry invests $100 in a savings plan. The plan pays 4.5% interest. So 4.5% each year, so it pays interest that's yearly on his $100 account balance. So 4.5%. I'm going to rewrite that as 4.5%. And then remember, we don't use percents in when we multiply or divide. So I'm going to change this into a decimal, and I do that by moving the decimal point 2 places left. So that becomes 0.045. Okay? So how much money will Larry earn in interest after 3 years? Well, our formula is I equals PRT. Interest equals principal times rate as a decimal times time. So interest equals our principal. Principal is the amount of money that you deposit or borrow, $100, times our rate, that's our percentage as a decimal, 0.045, times the number of years, T, 3. And if you just type that into a calculator, get 13.5. but this is money. So we put a 0 here and a dollar sign up front. He'll earn $13.50. So after 3 years, not a whole lot, but hey, at least you're getting something. What would it be at the end of 5 years? Oh, how could you find the balance of Larry's account at the end of 5 years? Okay, balance, that's the total amount of money. That's the word amount there, sorry. That's the total amount of money. So first start by finding the interest. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Fill in what you know. Our principal is still $100. Our rate as a decimal is 0.045. And our T is 5 years. So again, if you plug this into a calculator, we get 22.5. So the amount of interest he earned is 22.5 or $22.50. But, okay, balance, we're going to add the interest to the principal. So our balance in the account, how much money Larry has in the account, is the original $100. That didn't change, that's still there, plus our $22.50, which is a total of $122.50. Okay, so if you think about it, if Larry puts $100 in, that $100 is still there, plus the interest he earned, $22.50. So be careful when you read your questions if it's asking for interest or balance. Now, we have represented these things as equations. How else can we represent it? So real quick, let's just talk about how we can put this stuff on a graph, okay? So after 1 year, okay, what does our interest earn after 1 year? Well, remember, interest is going to equal principal times rate times time. So our interest here is going to be our principal of $100 times our rate. That's that 0.045 here. Times the number of years, 1. So if you type that into a calculator, so 4.5, right? So $4.50. So after 2 years, well, that's 100 times 0.45 0.45 times 2. 9. So after 2 years, he's earned $9. And so 3 years, we already got this, right? We did 3 years up here. That's $13.50. After 4 years, we take our principal times our rate times our number of years. 18. And after 5 years. Well, we did that one too already, didn't we? Right here, $22.50. All right, so we can also represent the amount of interest in a table. We can do it on a graph. So if I quickly graph this, remember, this down here is years. It's our T, right? And this is our interest. Okay. Our I. So after 1 year, we earned $4.50. So if I look here, it looks like I wrote my dollars. 1, 2, 3, $4, $4.50 would be just in between. After 2 years, $9. 1 by 1's here. 3 years is $13.50. So there's 10, 11, 12, $13.50. After 4 years is 18. And after 5 years, it's $22.50. So what do we notice about this right here? Hopefully we see that this is a line. And that our line goes through 0, 0. Okay. So, what else does this tell us? Okay, kind of tells us that there's a proportional relationship, right? It's a straight line going through 0, 0. So interest is, simple interest is proportional. And it also has to have a constant. Well, look here. How much are we going up every single time? From 450 to 9, from 9 to 1350, from 1315 to 18, and from 18 to 2250. Okay? And we have a constant. We're going up by the same amount every time, right? Is $4.50. Okay, so every year he's going to earn $4.50. Okay? Just to finish up real quick. What does the point 418 mean in terms of the situation? Well, remember, this is our x and our y, but in this case, our x is the t. So the point 418, here's 4, and 18 on our graph right here. What does that point mean? Well, that point means that after 4 years, the interest is $18. After 4 years, Larry earned $18. So what does the point 0, 0 mean? Well, kind of the same thing, right? After 0 years, Larry earned $0. And just one more. What does the point 1450 mean? Well, same thing. After 1 year, Larry earned $4.50. And you know what that also is? That's our constant, or our unit rate, right? Now let me put unit rate. That one tells us per year what we're earning. Okay, so a lot of different ways we can represent simple interest, but it's proportional. We are multiplying by a single number each time, and we're using our formula here. Interest equals principal times rate times time.